In the shadowy underworld of international drug trafficking, few names have sparked as much intrigue, controversy. Akinyi's life reads like a gripping thriller, filled with power, betrayal, and a relentless pursuit of wealth. From her humble beginnings to her rise as a feared drug baron, her story is a labyrinth of high-stake deals, dangerous alliances, and a web of crime that spanned continents. But behind the glitz of her Deep West hotel and the whispers of her empire lay a dark truth. How did a woman from Kenya become one of the most wanted figures in the global drug trade? What drove her to risk everything, and what ultimately led to her downfall? This is the story of Joyce Akinyi, a tale of ambition, love, betrayal, and the relentless pursuit of power. From her controversial relationships with powerful men to her dramatic arrests and the shocking revelations in court, every twist and turn will leave you questioning how far one can go before the past catches up. Buckle up as we dive into the life of Kenya's most famous drug queen. What lies ahead is a story so unbelievable you'll have to see it to believe it. The question is, are you ready to uncover the truth? Being convicted alongside her partner marked the end of the road for one of Kenya's most controversial figures. Joyce Akinyi, however, had it coming from when the shine of the spotlight turned towards her. She was once in a relationship with the current Member of Parliament from Budalangi, Mr. Raphael Wanjala, and was married to Nigerian suspected drug trafficker Anthony Chinedu. According to investigators, Akinyi began trading drugs in the year 1999 after entering a relationship with Chinedu. The Nigerian allegedly used this as an opportunity to elevate her within the underworld of drug traffickers. But little did he know this would eventually lead to their conflict. The couple traded freely, internationally, and within Kenya, finding the perfect spot for import, export, and selling drugs locally. They had 2 children, and in the year 2004, they formalized their union at the Attorney General's office in Nairobi. By this time, they had heavily invested in real estate and the hospitality sector, most notably the Deep West Resort. They separated shortly after and began fighting over property. Following the separation, she entered into a relationship with Wanjala. In the year 2008, they were arrested by Indian authorities at the Indira Gandhi Airport in New Delhi, India, for failing to declare over 7 million shillings. The police in India suspected that the money was intended for purchasing drugs. They were charged, convicted, and cumulatively spent nearly 6 months in an Indian prison before being freed following interventions from the Kenyan government. Once back in Kenya, she resumed her life, and her first battle with Chinedu made headlines. He had filed for divorce, citing dissertation, and accused her of flirting with Wanjala. She accused Chinedu of forcibly taking over the property while she was languishing in an Indian jail. Chinedu in turn accused Wanjala of stealing his wife and claimed they were after his property. In June 2013, Chinedu was deported for drug trafficking after being arrested with heroin, and he blamed the couple for his downfall. Not long after this, Joyce Akinyi and Wanjala were arrested by police in Isinya while traveling from Tanzania with the Tanzanian women. Police discovered a white substance they suspected to be narcotics, while the two insisted it was just maize flour. They were detained at the Muthaiga police station where they recorded statements. Akinyi and the 2 women were taken for scans to confirm whether they had ingested the drugs. They were later freed, and the government chemists confirmed that it was indeed maize flour. In July 2019, police raided their office where they found 1.8 kilograms of heroin, valued at 5 million Kenyan shillings. Akinyi, Anyango, and Kalala were arrested alongside Scholar Naminyu, Elizabeth Mbiga, Peter Okoth, and Rose Musanda. Namunyu and Musanda were charged and convicted for trafficking drugs in another case and are currently serving their sentence at the Lang'ata Women's Prison. Joyce Akinyi, Anyango, and Kalala were charged with 5 counts relating to drugs at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport locals. And Magistrate Thuku freed them on a 1 million Kenyan shillings cash bail. Aggrieved by Magistrate Njeri Thuku's bond terms, they moved to the High Court where Justice Ngenyi Macharia reviewed their bond terms. They were required to present 2 people who will deposit the same amount and report to the officer in charge of the narcotics unit of the DCI every week, informing them of their whereabouts. If they intended to travel outside Nairobi, they were to seek permission from the officer handling their case. Kalala, on the other hand, could not be granted bail since at the time of his arrest, he was in the country on a tourist visa. According to the state, he did not have permanent residence and could potentially flee the country if granted bail or bond. Akinyi said that the terms made it impossible for her to visit her children as she was required to inform the court whenever she wanted to travel out of Nairobi. She added that her son had died of cancer and his body was lying at the morgue. As a single mother, she explained that she could not raise 1 million Kenyan shillings cash bail. Her lawyer proposed that she be allowed to pay 200,000 Kenyan shillings instead. The judge ruled that Akinyi and Anyango were to report to the police twice a month and only inform the investigating officer if they intended to travel out of Nairobi. As for Kalala's request to be given bond to seek treatment since he was injured during the arrest, the judge ruled that the court can always refer a prisoner to a hospital in case the medical team there is unable to attend to it. While out on bail, unknown individuals demolished the Deep West property on the night of March 1st, 2022. Court findings revealed that Deep West was situated on the land leased to her ex-husband, Mr. Anthony Chinedu, through Elegance Invested Limited. The land owned by the Kenya School for the Blind under the Ministry of Education had reportedly been under dispute due to unpaid rent, with the school demanding 2 million shillings. Akinyi had filed a case at the rent tribunal to block a eviction, and as they waited for the verdict, the restaurant was demolished. All those claims are just excuses to destroy my property. The matter was pending in court and I was confident of a favorable ruling, she told the Nairobi newspaper. There were whispers that a senior government official was behind the demolition. 3 years later, the bad turned to worse for Joyce Akinyi as a series of text messages, audio recordings, and photos were presented as evidence leading a Nairobi court to sentence Joyce Akinyi, the drug queen, for 25 years in prison for trafficking heroin worth 5 million shillings.
Have been jailed for 25 years and 10 years respectively.
Akinyi's partner, Pauline Kalala from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and their accomplice Perez Anyango were sentenced to 10 and 25 years respectively. Akinyi's sister revealed that she had known Kalala for over 7 months and that the two had been dating for more than 2 months. Akinyi and Kalala were each fined 9 million shillings, while Anyango faced a 8 million shillings fine. However, Anyango was convicted and sentenced in absentia after she skipped court and could not be located. An active warrant for her arrest remains at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Senior Principal Magistrate Njeri Thuku noted that Anyango might be using an alias since she was found with a fake DRC passport. Akinyi was also found to have 2 passports from the DRC. Magistrate Thuku ordered that both passports be returned to the country. According to the prosecution, a phone found in Anyango's bag contained crucial evidence regarding how the two women ran their operations. Magistrate Thuku noted that at the time of their arrest, the two women were at the top of the drug trafficking chain. Essentially, they were drug barons, running their own enterprises with specific markets, suppliers, and regular customers. She added that Akinyi used the Deep West Hotel as a cover-up for the drug-running operations. It served as a front to justify the large sums of money flowing into the accounts. The magistrate noted that Kalala was not just a bystander caught in the complex web of drug trafficking, but an active participant in the vice. He was Akinyi's lover, and they had been partners for more than 2 months. According to the testimony from Akinyi's sister, when police raided Akinyi's office at the Deep West Hotel, they found her with Kalala while Anyango was in a different room. Anyango's bag contained the drugs, along with a phone that would become crucial evidence against the three. Upon further investigation, authorities uncovered images, audios, and text messages indicating that Anyango had traveled to Uganda, where they suspected she was set to deliver the drugs. According to the police, the phone also provided a link to international trafficking operations, and Magistrate Thuku noted that at the time of their arrest, the trio were leading these global trafficking rings. They were reportedly recruiting young men and women, often including close relatives, as mules for drug deliveries. Some of the drugs were delivered to European and Asian countries, and the two allegedly required the mules to keep them updated on their movement at all times. Once the drop-offs were made, the mules were instructed to signal them. They were actively recruiting individuals, keeping track of them from the moment they left Kenya until the drugs were safely delivered, said the magistrate. Deep West Hotel was reportedly the headquarters of the operations. As Akinyi rose through the ranks of drug trafficking in the country, police claimed that she directed her juniors to always communicate via word of mouth. The hotel also served as a convenient cover-up to launder the illicit drug money, with Akinyi claiming in another case that it brought in 1 million shillings daily. After her arrest, the Assets Recovery Agency filed a case to seize 2 vehicles valued at 20 million shillings, alleging they were proceeds of crime. In her defense, Akinyi argued that she had been in the real estate business since the year 2004, earning a substantial income, which explained the continued deposits in her accounts. Assets Recovery Authority stated that Akinyi had been depositing large sums of money in tranches below 1 million shillings to avoid detection by the Central Bank of Kenya. She claimed that the hotel and other properties were worth over 500 million shillings. Justice Esther Maina, however, was unconvinced by her explanation and ordered the forfeiture of the 2 vehicles to the state. In their plea for mercy during sentencing, Akinyi and Kalala presented what they hoped would be the ticket to freedom or a lighter sentence. Kalala claimed that his father had passed away on January 2nd, 2024 while he was in jail. He stated that he came from a Christian family and was the second born and the sole breadwinner. He painted a picture of a suffering family due to his incarceration, mentioning that his children had dropped out of school because they could not afford school fees. He expressed remorse and requested to serve his sentence in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Queenpin Joyce Akinyi emerged in the probation report, which painted her as unremorseful about the crime and bitter about the outcome of the case. Shortly after being sentenced to 25 years in prison, she accused police of taking items from her. Well, Akinyi's story is a dramatic tale of rise and fall, marked by ambition, controversy, and eventual downfall. Once a prominent figure in Kenya's underworld, she built a drug empire that spanned continents, using her Deep West hotel as front for her illicit operations. Her relationship with powerful men, including Nigerian drug trafficker Anthony Chinedu and Budalangi Member of Parliament Mr. Raphael Wanjala, played a significant role in her ascent. However, a life of crime was fraught with legal battles, arrests, and betrayals. In the end, Akinyi's story serves as a cautionary tale of the peril of a life of crime. Despite her wealth and influence, she could not escape the consequences of her actions. Her sentencing not only brought her personal downfall, but also dealt a significant blow to the drug trafficking network she once commanded. The legacy of Joyce Akinyi is one of infamy and a stark reminder that one is not above the law. Thank you for watching as always. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye.